Let me continue with the CDMA chapter and link what I left yesterday. So, in that main PPT of CDMA, you can see the comparison of CDMA and TDMA in particular. Here you can see number of RF channels 40 in CDMA, whereas 4 in TDMA. Whereas some of the parameters are almost equal. Number of channels per cell may be more in TDMA. Control channels are same. Voice channels you can see here in TDMA it is 228, in FDMA 57, but in CDMA it is 320. So like that there are some advantages in CDMA. In particular, CDMA is having more security. So how the spreading will happen, that you can see in the PPT. Suppose information bit is 1 and the spreading code is 10010, then the result is XOR result always, that's the 01101, and that data stream goes to receiver and spreading sequence is used there, shaping frequency, and it gives CDMA signal out, and the CDMA signal along with the carrier will give data stream once again when again it is XORed with the spreading sequence. So here the sequence of flow, please refer from the PPT. So this is how the CDMA network works. It depends on the Walsh code sequence. So here 3 cells are seen. Walsh code sequence 13, Walsh code sequence 39, and Walsh code sequence 51 are seen, and with respect to the PN offset 164, 288 and 24. So here the CDMA sequence operations will be seen. Please read the sentence. Next, another category of the CDMA channels are reverse logical channels. They exist between CDMA handsets, subscriber device, and CDMA base stations. They encode digital information on the reverse channel, but initially they will not spread with the Walsh codes. The data to be transmitted is mapped to Walsh codes, then transmitted. Every 6 bit is maps to particular Walsh code. System error rates are reduced in this process, and the long PN sequences spread the subscriber's ESN number, the electronic serial number, 32 bit. User is uniquely identified within the CDMA system with that PN sequence. And the long PN sequence in CDMA is used to keep the 32-bit ESN of the subscriber, so that that will be very helpful in communicating and call setup between 2 subscribers. That is a long PN sequence. But short PN sequence is used to identify the cell. It is used as a location updating information. There are 2 channels in the reverse CDMA channels. One is access channel, and another one is same forward traffic control. Here it is a reverse traffic control channel. Traffic channels and access channels. Traffic channels are used for transmitting the calls, whereas access channels are used from the mobile station to call setup request, paging response, order response, and signaling information. So the basic spreading procedure is almost same. I just explain access channel. Access channel is having 4.8 kbps. It will go to convolutional encoder of rate 3, and again it goes to symbol repetition block. You can see the doubling is happening. 3 times 4.8 into 3 is 14.4 kbps. Again symbol repetition is nothing but doubling. 14.4 into 2, 28.8 kbps. Going to interleaving. Interleaving is just stop the error spreading. Going to orthogonal modulator. In the orthogonal modulator, every 6 bits are converted into 64 Walsh codes. Not entirely all bits are, only 6, every 6 bits are converted into 64 bits, so that the data rate will not attain 1.2288 megachips per second. It will be just remaining at 307.2 kcps. And the long code sequence, as I told you, long code sequence is generated. It is generated from 32-bit electronic serial number, and then the uh, basic spreading procedure that I explained. uh, QPSK method is used. Again, there will be I channel and Q channel pilot pin sequences are used of 1.2288 megachips per second. But in the quadrature channel, there will be a delay chip which is added uh, to implement orthogonal QSK, that is orthogonal QPSK. And baseband filters are used to uh, just uh, pass the UHF signals from modulated signals. So here is the description of access channel. Access messages raises up to 28.8 kbps after symbol repetition block. Then encoding just every 6 bit of this 28.8 kbps will result in 307.2 kcps. Then there is a standard unit that I am using is CPS chips per second. It's a standard notation in the CDMA industry. It refers to spreading process. Then long PN sequence yields a chip rate of again 1.2288 megachips per second. You can just refer forward channel as processing, signal processing. It's also 1.2288 megachips per second. And then UHF passband is slightly different, and it is not like a straightforward QPSK. So there will be a delay block is there. That is uh, of half of PN chip sequence for around 406.9 nanosecond used for Q path to implement orthogonal quadrature shift keying. So orthogonal quadrature shift keying is used for the Q component. That's just the difference. Otherwise, in all forward channels, you have seen the straightforward basics spreading sequence. That's the only change here. Then it is same with respect to reverse traffic power control channel. It's almost same. Just refer the PPT. It depends on rate set 1 and rate set 2, and long PN sequence. Of course, it is added in reverse because the handset, the information must go to the particular receiver, particular handset. That's why long PN sequences are used. Short PN sequences are used for identification of base station. When you see the CDMA frame format for 14.4 kbps rate set, it's having 267 information bits, 12 cyclic redundance check bits, and 9 tail bits. Then every CDMA frame is having forward synchronization channel, sync channel frames are 32 bits each, and there will be one start of message bit, and other 31 bits set to in that 31 bits first frame is set for 0, and other subsequent frames are same. And there will be also one frame that is synchronized capsule indicator. Paging channel is 80 millisecond duration. There will be 4 frames of 20 millisecond. One frame is having 20 millisecond duration, so there will be 4 frames, so that will be 80 millisecond duration. Paging slots are 8 half frames for that means 10 millisecond duration. Paging channel structure is again formatted into paging slot cycles, increased battery life. Then paging channel is minimum 6 slots, 16 slots, sorry, and MSCSN will determine the correct slots. So this is the CDMA frame format. You have seen GSM frames already. So please refer my PPT. So this is nothing but sync channel format. Sync frame is consisting of all SOM, startup message data, total 96 bits, CRC of 32 bits. Then you have message format like this, sync message format. Then the paging message is having SCI and frame body, 10 millisecond duration. Then the reverse channel frame formats, actually 20 millisecond frame, and it is having 16 power control groups. 16 power control groups are seen. Next frame is having again next 16. The previous one is also 16 bits. There's a burst transmission. Here 16 power control groups are means one complete frame is used for power control groups. 16 power control groups, and this is 8 power control groups. That means every alternate there will be 8 power control groups in the frame. Then only 4, then only 2. So like this is a 20 millisecond traffic channel frame. That is a reverse channel frame format. CDMA operations will be understood by state diagrams. This state diagram is having at least these 3 states: system determination state, pilot channel acquisition state, sync channel acquisition state, and timing change substrates. This is MS call processing states. Again, it's depend on the state diagrams. Various other operations are seen. Please refer the PPT for clarity. This is system access chart. Please refer the PPT. There are 10 types of registration: power up, power down, timer based, distance based, zone based, parametric change, ordered, implicit, traffic channel, user zone. Call establishment is having 3 phases: initialization phase, idle phase, and access phase. Same as your AMPS almost. Then whenever the access grant burst will be used, it will be maximum 15 burst will come. You can see first burst, second burst, third access probe sequence 15. So there will be always increased power levels are there. If the access burst is successful, then there will be a call setting operations will start with the increasing power levels. Then after 15th burst, if there is no channel access, the attempt is not successful, then another additional attempts will be used. Another 15 levels access probes are repeatedly coming. Okay, so please refer slides. The traffic state is very simple. Call origination either voice or data. That is forward traffic channel only. Mobile originated call is very simple. Assigning forward traffic channel and some preamble information and dialing of digits and setting the call, acknowledgement, pre FTC, and communication starts. Similarly, this is mobile terminated call. It's also very simple. Mobile terminated call, as I told you, paging channel first, acknowledgement, then forward traffic channel sending some preambles and acknowledgement, and there will be a pilot channel information, then ringing, alerting, and then connection message, and call start conversation. There are 3 different handoffs: idle, access, traffic handoffs. Idle handoff, access handoff. In most of the CDMA it is a hard handoff, but in CDMA it is a soft handoff. Again divided into soft, softer, and soft, softer handoffs. It depends on the sector. Softer handoff means MS is only with only two sectors with the same cell. Soft handoff MS is communicating with two sectors of the current and new cells. Softer means it's a intermediate version between soft and softer. Hard handoff, you refer my PPT. Thank you.